Hello and welcome to Softball HQ for the Adelaide competition. We're here brought to you by Spacequake Sports for today's clash between the West Torrens Eagles and the Port Adelaide Magpies. Joining me is Lee Hull, and later we'll hear from Eric Balnar. Welcome, Lee.
Thank you, James. What a cracking day to be out playing sport, our sport of softball. And it's a fantastic game. West Torrens and Port Adelaide, I think they've played 3 times this season, 2 draws and one run victory to the West Torrens side. So Port, they must win. They need to win.
So, yeah, exactly. Must-win game for Port Adelaide to stay in the finals race. They've played 20 games this year. Everyone else has just played the 19 games. So with 4 games remaining, they need to win to stay in touch with the finals. And if you can't beat the top teams, then you probably shouldn't be there anyway.
And that's a very fair point too.
Okay, so ins and outs. Port Adelaide have got a pretty stable side at the moment, but they've got Emily Catuzzo is changing to an outfield position, and Georgia Murphy's coming into catching role. Yes,
that's true. That's how they lined up the other night when they played. And Emily Catuzzo relished the outfield position by hitting a home run. A long ball it was.
For West Torrens, a massive in. They've got Lana Kayser, Stars third base player, coming into their lineup, who were very strong on Wednesday night. They're at full strength today.
They're at full strength, and they also have 4 reserves, so they have got plenty of choices there in their lineup. But Walkerville and them at the top, and they're going along beautifully at the moment, both teams. But I know Butch Sims well. They'll be coming 100 mile an hour at this game, Port Adelaide.
Players to watch for this game, of course, the American duo in McFarlane and Thompson for Port Adelaide. McFarlane, of course, playing for the Stars. Now, they'll be expected to play well today, but watch out for Megan Williams at shortstop, having a standout season.
Yeah, certainly, and what a couple of cracking imports they have been. All the imports that have come in this year, fantastic.
Then for West Torrens, of course, you can't go past the Stars players they have in their lineup. However, it was Faith Picard and Kelsey Nucky that were the match winners on Wednesday night, both having 3 hits each.
Fantastic with the bat, weren't they? So they'll be looking to repeat that performance. Mackenzie's a different pitcher, though.
Huge game for both teams. Eagles and Magpies. We'll be back with the action in just a moment.
You got Bell, who just went and took second. She can't even go back, and she's still going. Now she's going to try to slide into third. And she's saved! She did it. She's done a good job in back-to-back innings. A little bit of trouble on it. She's got out of it, and this is hit up the middle. It's a nice play for 1. Throw over to first, and she got her for 2. And this is hit hard, deep to left field. This is back, and this one is gone!
But she's, I'm telling you, Jenny is not going to let the ball go past.
And she's to do, and here it is, and she's done it. The perfect inning. And this is hit hard. It's towards center. Will this drop? A catch!
Tell me you're serious.
That's a great play.
Back a little late. There she goes. That's a long shot to left field. Sophie Hoyle! It's a home run. It's an automatic run for the Glenelg Rebels. We were just talking about her power. We were just talking about her wheelhouse. And into the breeze. Thank you very much, Lee. A home run to Sophie Hoyle.
Well, it certainly is heating up here at Softball SA. Eric Balnar now joined in the commentary booth by Lee Hull. Lee, you set it up pretty nicely earlier. This is a big game with lots on the line for both teams. For the Eagles, you can see them right now taking the field. They are just 2, the magic number is 2. 2 wins or a win and a Hills loss away from clinching a top 2 spots, which means you're basically guaranteed top 3 in the league when it comes down and you're playing on the penultimate weekend at the very least of the season in the finals. And for Port Adelaide, they started off slow. They've scrapped their way back within just 2 points of a final spot. They don't have that handy game in hand, though. So they really need to win 3, maybe 4 of their last 4 if they want to get in. And they got to play one of the top teams to do it.
Certainly, Eric. And as I've mentioned before in the pre-game, it's 3 games they've played and it's 2 draws and one-run victory to West Torrens. I'm predicting another draw here to make 8 for the season.
Could you imagine that? And Talia George will lead this off for Port Adelaide today. Maddie Scott, the woman on the mound for West Torrens. Maddie Scott with a pretty sterling 1.2 ERA.
Yeah, she's been fantastic, but more importantly, consistent. Very consistent this year.
10 wins and 2 losses for Maddie Scott.
And it comes with growing and maturing and getting stronger physically and mentally.
And this one goes up high. Meanwhile, on the mound right now is Talia George. Batting average not incredible. It's only .255, but her on base at .436 makes her quite an effective player. Standing lefty in the box, and she can cause some damage in that leadoff position.
Certainly can. And Butch Sims, once he has faith in people as players, he stays with them, and she's been lead off for a fair while now.
And there's probably a pretty good correlation of when she was put in the leadoff spot to when Port Adelaide started to rise up the standings a bit too.
I think so, and I think with the advent of Vicky McFarlane and Mackenzie Thompson turning up has sort of added to that.
2 messages were given to Butch from Butch right before the game. You could hear him tell his team 2 things. 1, be aggressive, and 2, make her work, referring to Maddie Scott trying to make her work. And that's what she does right off the bat. She makes her work, and Talia George showing how good she's been on getting on base with a walk.
And don't you love that when you're coaching? The your lead-off gets on base, and now McFarlane can cause problems here.
Yeah, and she's batting .548 on the season. Her on-base percentage lead .761. 3/4 of the time she gets on base, and she causes some damage when she's on there too. So it's exact opposite of what you want to do is put a leadoff runner with such a prolific bat right here in the lineup.
Yeah, Maddie Scott just taking her time here to get settled into the rhythm of things. She's obviously realising it's a tough game as well. A lot hinging on it.
Well, it's also just a big statement game as well, too. You know, if Port Adelaide can sneak their way into the finals, you know, there's a very good chance that, you know, they could be meeting maybe in that semifinal round. You never know the way this shapes up. So you want to kill your opponents when you have an opportunity.
You certainly do. And the people you consider dangerous, then you need to shut them down early.
Now, Maddie Scott, the knock on her is just finding the strike zone. That was what will unravel her sometimes. She's got 57 walks on the season so far. Just an ERA of 1.20, so it tells you 2 things. 1, she puts people on base, but 2, she gets them out.
Yep.
But already in 8 pitches, 7 balls so far, make it 8 balls out of 9 pitches. So Maddie Scott laboring just a little bit to start, which brings up Megan Chicken Williams to the plate. And what a season she's had, batting .373.
Certainly has. We've talked about Megan many times this season because she was a very good defensive player for Seacombe previous year, but she's added batting to that strength of her fielding this season.
So now you're Megan Williams right now. You've got runners on first and second. You've seen how many balls will be thrown. Are you patient right now, or are you looking for that first pitch strike, knowing that Maddie's probably just going to want to get one in there?
I'm being patient, and then I'm going to bunt when the pitch is there for me to bunt.
Well, the woman on first base you certainly have to watch, and there's a strike right down the wheelhouse, right down King William Street.
Yeah.
And she just laid off of it.
Yes, missed all the buildings.
She was patient,
just
though.
Went straight down.
But, I mean, yeah, the woman on first base is very dangerous. And she watches that go down. She's going to try to get her over at second, and she's safe. Almost caught Talia George napping over at second base with a bit of a lead.
I'll tell you what, there wasn't much in that. Talia George being not quite as quick as Vicky McFarlane, the runner behind her. So Vicky will be putting pressure on there.
And Megan Williams takes a big loopy swing of that one. It's a 1-2 count.
Well, it's a 1-2 count now where the first pitch was there to be put into play, wasn't it? Well, we'll see. We'll see. She might come up with a shot here, Chicken.
And a big strikeout from Maddie Scott. Comes back with a very solid at-bat to get the first out of the inning, and a very dangerous bat as well, too. This is exactly what we talked about with Maddie Scott. Yeah, she might walk a couple people, but she does have a knack of getting herself out of trouble, and the first step to doing that is that big strikeout right there.
Certainly did then, and yes, interesting turn at bat for Megan.
Emily Catuzzo now batting. She's batting 400 on the season.
Well, she put one over the top.
Yeah, she's come into pretty good form lately, and she's just moved from catcher to the outfield as Butch still tries to refine that lineup. Very much a growing softball team as well. These Port Adelaide Magpies did not win a game last season and knocking on the doors of the finals. It really is a remarkable story.
It certainly is. If they were to make finals this year, it would be a well, it's fantastic as it is. I mean, you know, it's such a big improvement, massive turnaround.
And you just feel like the club culture at the top level has shifted a little bit as well, too. Swing at this one, chops it foul, makes it a 1-2 count.
I like the good play she is, Maddie Scott. She's come back hard here. She sits this one down, Emily Catuzzo. Then there's 2 out. The runners remain where they are.
Maddie Scott is a battler, though. 1-2 count. Can she get the second strikeout here? Sign of a great pitcher. Get yourself out of trouble when you put yourself in. Everyone's going to get in trouble at some times, and this is grounded over towards short. Lambert, force out at third. Fake the throw across the diamond. Smart play by Jordan Lambert at shortstop just to go for the force out over at third. Gets Talia George out. So Jordan Lambert, so that Pinnacle, we haven't even gone around the diamond yet. This is probably the best defensive team in the competition, West Torrens right here. Carly Allen catching, Lana Kaisler at third base, Jordan Lambert, the Team Australia player at shortstop, Emma Burridge, welcome return this season at second, Kelsey Nucky, a former Stars player at first. Boy, that infield is just tough to come by. It's smart.
It's super.
Mackenzie Thompson. She's the import here. Swings at this one, chops it foul, and now Maddie Scott, after walking the first 2 batters, is just 1 pitch away from getting out of a jam.
Yeah, and the outfielders guarding the grass area, the green grass out there. In the outfield, it's Jackie Bill at left and Faith Pickard at right, and spreading them, it's
Alicia
Marching. That's it.
She is very good in center field as well, too, as this one just drips down low, and now sort of a cat and mouse game with Vicky McFarland there. You have to be really careful. Base hit is going to score Vicky McFarland from second base. She does have those wheels. And
look at the way she leads off here. This is an object lesson to any younger player. Get off as far as the nearest infielder. Her pace will get her back to the base if needed.
And you see her do that right now. She takes that lead as the pitch is about to unwind.
And
you can watch that on the screen.
Goes straight down to Jordan Lambert, and Jordan Lambert's no slouch. She can get to the base quick, but I think Vicky would just nudge her out there. We'll see if she gets off too far. And
we might see this in the game. You figure that Vicky would test Carly's arm. Not to say that Carly's arm's not bad. It's just Vicky McFarland is probably the premier base runner in this competition.
Yes.
But it's a good battle. You have Jordan Lambert, who's probably in the same caliber, and she's on the Aussie Spirit side. We just got to see a few national team reps for her, which was incredibly exciting to see. She just missed out on the World Championship side, but she's in the conversation.
Well, she's in the mix, isn't she?
Mackenzie Thompson slaps this one, and a fantastic grab by Emma Burridge. She climbs the ladder and brings it down, and she keeps a run off the board, and that ends the inning. How about that play from Emma? Here's a look at the replay. This was cranked, and what a job. Straight up in the air and just grabs it down, and a big smile on her face. That was a fantastic play.
Well, Eric, you touched on how good the infield is for West Torrens. They certainly are, and we saw a classic example of that. Emma Burridge is a quality player, so is Nucky, so is Lambert, and so is Kaisler.
And you talk about sometimes, especially in softball, sometimes you have that contact and the hit that you really do feel like deserves to be a base hit and score a run. And other times you get a hit when you probably don't deserve it. But my goodness, Emma Burridge, that was fantastic.
That was really going well. So Mackenzie's got a good whack on that.
Well, here's how West Torrens will line up. Jordan Lambert going to lead it off. Faith Pickard batting second, the middle of the lineup. My goodness, it's relentless top to bottom here. Emma Burridge, Carly Allen, Lana Kaisler in the middle, then Kelsey Nucky, Maddie Scott, Alicia Marchink, and Jackie Beal will round out the lineup. And defensively, Port Adelaide have really improved, haven't they?
Yeah, I'll go around the outfield first up, just to change it up a little bit. Talia George is at left field, Vicky McFarland's at centre field, Emily Catuzzo's at right field.
Yep.
And the infield, defending the dirt, it's Caitlin Cattuso at first, Maddie Matthews at third, and the pivots are Ella Forrester at second and Megan Williams at short. And the battery is Mackenzie Thompson to Georgia Murphy. Now, Georgia Murphy's come in the last couple of games and Emily's gone out, so it hasn't done them any harm. So we'll see what they contribute today.
Mackenzie Thompson now working with her second catcher she's had to work with. And you saw her start to get in a bit of a rhythm with Cattuso before, but obviously they're just trying to make a little bit of a change and fine-tune that lineup going in there. And West Torrens lineups, not so easy. Jordan Lambert leads this off. She's batting .419 this season with a .636 on-base percentage. Now, of the first 5 batswomen on this team, 4 of them have an over 500 on-base percentage. Faith Picard, the one woman missing out, she's down there at .478 in that first 5. That is the weakest out of the first 5.
She will not stay down there below 5 for long, I can tell you.
But that is just incredible how relentless it is.
And they bat a long way down, so they just keep coming.
Now, this is a team that's built on a lot of solid players. Maybe they don't have that superstar, Jordan Lambert, probably in that conversation, but there's just top to bottom, solid lineup. They've been consistent rather than 2 blemishes this season. One was losing to Glenelg for their only win for Glenelg of the season. They drew once with Port Adelaide when they were winning 5-0 going into the bottom of the last. And Lambert will slide this over towards second. Forrester to first, and she's out. A close play. Lambert thought she had it. She was hustling down the line, but Forrester got her out. The youngster, the under 15 player.
That was a close one then, but umpire, Tanner Bring, experienced umpire, was in perfect position.
Yeah, and we'll see if we get that up on the screen as well. But now Faith Picard, it's been nice having her back in the lineup. I'll tell you what, for this team adds a whole other dimension, batting .313, .478 on base percentage. She's got a couple stolen bases. She's threatening. She's only had 16 at-bats in the season so far, so she's still working her way into the lineup.
Yep.
But a big injury forced her to miss the start of the season, and this is just part of that young Eagles core. Faith Picard and Maddie Scott very much part of that, but Alicia Marchink's not so old. Kelsey Nucky's in her young 20s. Jordan Lambert's 23 or 24. This is a young team.
It's going to be fantastic for the future. The other umpires with Kevin Tannenbring at first. At third base, it's Mike Bendel, and the head man himself, Steve Wallace-Yarrow, is the plate.
Mackenzie Thompson pitching today, and this is hit over towards right field, and that's going to drop in. And Vicky McFarland cuts this off. Good job holding Faith Picard, but good job from Faith to put herself with a hit to center right. And she's got a runner on for Emma Burridge, who has been nothing short of spectacular in her return to the lineup, batting .372 on base of .558. She's made standout defensive plays like we just saw in that last inning. And this could really be Emma's inning if she can make a pretty big clutch hit here.
Certainly, and following her, it's Carly Allen, one of the most dangerous batters in their competition.
And this just gets away, and that's going to be a free bag. That's just something that you can't really afford to do against this West Torrens side. They have lots of ways they can hit you, and they have been a team that has just taken advantage of their opportunities when it matters, and now they have a good one here.
That was an illegal pitch, so the runner gets a base.
And it was passed anyways.
Yep.
Now, what are they watching with the illegal pitch? Mackenzie Thompson's had this called a couple times on her.
Stepping out of the line.
And what does that mean?
Well, the pitching rubber is 24 inches wide. I don't know what that is in the current terminology, but you need to step inside of that for it to be an illegal pitch. We used to have 2 lines drawn directly down towards home plate, in painted white obviously, and the illegal pitch is your whole foot has to be outside of that line.
So we'll watch Mackenzie Thompson. She has a bit of a hop. You can see when she pitches, and that leg sometimes just goes a little too errant over to the right, I guess.
Yeah, that's right.
So watch the pitch right here on your screen. You can see Thompson there, but focus on her footwork here if you're watching at home. We'll see what happens here. And you can see her really jump to the side.
Yep. Well, Georgia Hood was a bit like that last season, but straightening up a lot. She used to be out fairly wide, and that's how you get the ball to cut across the body of the right-handed batters.
Emma Burridge, though, has a 1-2 count. She's battled away to stay alive. This drips down low. It's a 2-2 count, runner on second. So 2-2 count, runner on second, And the second baseman, Emma Burridge, going to try to bring her home.
Well, she'd like to back up that great line drive that she took with a hit here.
And this is hit down the line, and this is just foul. My goodness, if that was just slightly to the right, that would have been a dangerous area for that to go to, as it rustles all the way up to the corner.
Yes, if butts and candy nuts, as they say.
But a good job from Emma Burridge here. She's fouled off a few of them. This is the 7th or 8th pitch of the at-bat, and Emma Burridge just making her work for it right here.
Good turn up bat. Good turn up bat, isn't it?
We'll see if she can turn it into numbers. And Emma swings at this one. Ella Forrester picks this up. Throw to first. It's going to advance the runner to third. It was a good at-bat. So Faith Pickard goes quite close to scoring, but it's going to be a 4-3 put out here. But that brings up Carly Allen.
I tell you what, that was a very high pitch she went at then. It was like a late decision from Emma, and ground out through chasing her, I think. It was a bit off the pace.
Well, she leads the team in batting. 438, Carly Allen. When she's in the lineup, there's just a big difference.
I'm not surprised. She's an up-the-middle hitter. She hits the ball hard. When she hits it, it stays hit.
And today's the kind of day where you could see something blow out of here. And that's a nice pitch from Mackenzie Thompson.
She's got some tricks, Macca, and uses them when she needs to. So they've held tight here at the moment, Port.
1-1 count. Mackenzie Thompson trying to get out of some trouble herself. Maddie Scott had runners on first and second, nobody else, and dodged away out of this. This was runner on second with 1 out. Now the runner's on third. We'll see if both the pitchers can match each other here in the first inning. We expect this to be a close contest. And 17 minutes in, we're not out of the first inning yet, and it is an arm wrestle, to say the least.
Yes, it is.
And how's that for a pitch? Big strike, too, as that one just loops in the top of the strike zone. And she's a strike away from getting out of the inning.
I'm not sure that met with the approval of the number 21 and for the Eagles, Carly, but she smiled. I think that was reluctantly smiling.
And Allen crushes this one down the line, and that is called foul. Oh, my goodness. It was tough to see from this angle. We'll see if we can see it on video replay here. Here's a look at it. That was hit hard. Here's the hit. Hit pretty hard. That is just foul by about, six inches.
I knew I shouldn't have bought a house through your building company, Eric.
And that's hit hard again. This is up in the air, and this is caught there by Maddie Matchke, so they avoid damage, and we're through 1 inning. There's no score, but Lee, what a first inning it was. Quite an enjoyable one. If this is what finals softball is going to be like, I can't wait, because if this is the rest of the game is going to be like, I can't wait.
We've had some terrific games this season, haven't we? Season started slowly. We had a couple of big wins or big losses, whichever team you were following.
And they seem to be getting closer and closer.
They are.
So West Torrens, Port Adelaide play right now. West Torrens they've clinched a final spot. So Port Adelaide, who are 5th, they can't catch them. But West Torrens, a win today. They'll be watching the Hills-Sturt game, both of these teams later on. And I think they'll be cheering for opposite teams. West Torrens will be hoping that Hills lose, because a West Torrens win and a Hills loss means West Torrens have clinched the top 2 spot. Meanwhile, Port Adelaide are going to be cheering for Hills because they want Sturt to lose. Because if a Port Adelaide win today and Sturt lose, then Port Adelaide are sitting on equal points with Sturt heading into the final 2 weeks of the season.
So what you're telling me with that, Eric, is both of these teams want different people, as you said.
Including in this game.
And so it's going to be interesting. Somebody's going to be happy and somebody else is not going to be quite so happy.
Well, maybe they're both indifferent. I don't know. It's a long day, but if you're certainly around the facility and you want to come down, there's a couple big games. Seacombe Tigers, they have a big game today against Glen Elg. Seacombe, they're hanging on by a thread to their finals hopes. They likely need to win all of their final games. Maybe they can get away with winning 4, but their season, they were top at one time. It's just sort of slipped away with some inconsistent baseball or softball rather, and some just chances that left begging at the end of it.
And unfortunately for people that think they were going to play Glenelg and get the win by turning up, Steph Jasinski's back, and that makes one heck of a difference to that team.
It certainly does.
As we saw Wednesday night.
Yeah, and they hung tight with Walkerville, who are at the top of the ladder. It looked like an upset could have been brewing until Steph went out of the game and they allowed 6 runs. Ella Forrester, she's an under 15 player. She's just started. She's only made her debut a couple weeks ago. She's only had 16 at-bats. She's only got the 1 hit, but she's had some pretty, from what I've seen, she's had some pretty hearty at-bats, I should say.
Yeah, I think so. Got her money's worth on many occasions, and Butch Sims is very impressed with her. So,
and she's going to hit this one. Pretty good contact. Unfortunately, it's just right to Faith Pickard in right field. You can't be too upset with that at-bat at all.
No.
Brings up Georgia Murphy. She's batting 114. She's the new catcher for the side. Another young player on this team. And like you said, Butch Sims, the coach of Port Adelaide, likes to put his trust in his players, and in return, he hopes the players return the favor.
And if they do, they remain in the team, which is the way you should coach, surely.
Well, Maddie Scott on the mound starting to throw some strikes. Tough first couple batters, and she's looking a lot better now. And this is hit over towards center field. Coming into that, drops between Marchink and Lambert, and Georgia Murphy, thank you very much, will get a hit to the center. And sometimes you get those little bleeders that just find some space, and other times you can hit it pretty good and someone just climbs a ladder and makes a great catch.
You spoke about it before, and on many occasions, haven't we? It's just the nature of the beast, and that's what makes it interesting.
Now, Caitlin Catuzzo is a walk machine. She's got 10 walks on the season. How's this for Caitlin Catuzzo? She's batting 147, so it's not the most impressive number in the world. She's got an on-base percentage of .422. She finds ways to get herself on base, even when the bat's not going how she wants. And if she can find a way to get on base here, there'll be a heck of a lot of pressure.
Well, then it's Maddie Matchkey, the third base for the black and white team, and then we're at the top of the lineup with Taylor George.
She's going to lay down a bunt, throw over to second, gets the force out, and that was well played by Lana Kaesler moving in. Very well done. You can see the replay right here, laying down the bunt, probably just a bit too playable for the third baseman.
Yep.
There's the replay.
Just come a bit too hard. Need to take the weight off your hands.
So she reaches on a fielder's choice, brings up Maddie Matchkey. She's one of the lone women who just were really left over from a team that was just a season to forget for Port Adelaide last year, but Butch keeping her in the lineup, and she's been pretty steady at third base, you gotta say. But you talk about the improved defense. They were one of the worst fielding teams in the competition last year. This year, they've got a fielding percentage of .905. Meanwhile, West Torrens, though, they have a fielding percentage of .948, the top in the league. That's just
explains itself.
Some of the best hitting, some of the best defense, and one of the best records. If only they could have that one inning versus Port Adelaide back when they were up 5-0, and it ended up in a draw, they'd be sitting top.
I remember that game very well.
We were sitting right here with a girl from Daly River.
The Daly River Dasher, and they had some rain up there.
Letitia Mariania, not in the lineup today for Port Adelaide. A swing and a miss, and that's a big strikeout. Maddie Scott gets Maddie Matchkey to swing, and that's her second strikeout, and she's through the order once. She's through 2 innings. She hasn't allowed a run. She's going to be happy with that.
Certainly will.
Won't be upset.
What you were talking about before about change in personnel with the Port Adelaide team, in this starting 9, there's only 4 people back from last year's team.
Well, they've put themselves in a position to succeed. Now, worst case scenario for Port Adelaide, they lose this and then Hills win, or then Sturt win today. It would put them 4 points behind with just 3 games to play, and it makes it nearly impossible. They need everything to go right. They really do need to win. Just worry about yourself first, of course.
Yeah, of course. And I think, it's, as we know, it's a lot easier, looking after your own side of the draw rather than wait for other people to help you out or not help you out, whichever case may be.
But you take a look at it, think about a couple Saturdays ago when they had a 1-0 lead heading into the last inning versus Hills. If they had won that game, it would have been completely flipped. They would be sitting in that final spot, tied with Sturt and Hills in a three-way tie for that last one. Just such small little things. But then again, if they don't come back and draw West Torrens when they put up 5 in the last inning, they're not in that position either.
Yes, and some good hitting still here coming.
Yep.
Lana Kaisler and Kelsey Nucky, who went 4 for 4, I think, on Wednesday night. And then Maddie Scott, Alicia Marching, and Jackie Bill brings up the 9.
How is this? No, only one person in their lineup has a... nope, I stand corrected. Every single person in this West Torrens lineup has an on-base percentage of 400 or higher. How do you navigate that?
Well, you don't, only by lifting your own batting, I would suggest. But how do you lift your own batting when they've got... West Torrens have got that defence you talk about?
You can't throw too many strikes because they're going to hit them, but you can't throw too many wayward because they've got great patience and they're pretty selective. It's a big beast to overcome.
Yes.
And Lana Kaisler ahead 2-1, but good job from Mackenzie Thompson to throw that one over the plate to make it 2-1. But Kaisler, Nucky, and Scott due up in this lineup. And look at that. It's a big walk right here for Lana Kaisler. The first time they've had a leadoff runner. Brings up Kelsey Nucky, who's starting to find some form with her bat. She went through a bit of a slump. She's starting to find her groove again.
Well, Wednesday evening she was hitting the ball very hard and often.
And Kelsey loves to drill it over towards left field, right over the third baseman. Maddie Matchke, get ready. But she's going to lay down the bunt towards Matchke. That's a nice play. Throw over to second, and it's wayward throw. So that's going to advance a runner all the way to third. So not only do they get the force out, they don't get the out at first. And there's runners on the corners. Lee, what happened there?
Well, I'll tell you what happened.
Yeah.
It was just a bit of a bubble of a throw from Maddie. She could do better, but I'm not quite sure whether that was the play. Because Lana Kaisler is a lot quicker than a lot of people think, and she was there easily.
Well, even if it was caught, Lana Kaisler was safe.
Yep.
So the decision was certainly go to first. Maddie Scott swings at the first one. This one comes back, maybe towards us. I don't know. Yes, right in front of us, incoming, right towards commentary. Hello, everybody. Foul ball. Thank you, Maddie Scott. There we are. You can wave to the camera, Lee. Maddie Scott, runners on first and third. Alicia Marchink in the hole. And Maddie Scott shows bunt, holds off. It's a 1-1 count. What's the play here? Surely you can't bunt here, can you?
You can go squeeze. I'm telling you, Kaisler has got real good wheels. Try to get on board, get the opening run.
And she's going to lay down the bunt. Look at that, down the line, and Kaisler scores. And Maddie Scott's first. Lee Hull, you called it, and that was a picture-perfect bunt from Maddie Scott. Kaisler was right on the money, and look how quick Kaisler was off the bag. But look at this bunt right here. Right down the first base line, and as soon as it was off the bat, Kaisler was flying. She touched home as soon as they touched the ball, and there was nothing that they could do.
Well, you've said it all.
And it has a runner on third, and now it's a free bag for Maddie Scott. So runners on second and third, no one out for Alicia Marching.
See, with the Eagles having 2 runners on, just go squeeze. If you get one out at the plate here, still got another one at third. We'll have.
Can you do a squeeze again?
Sorry?
Do the squeeze again?
No, I'm not saying it this time. I'll let you know when it's on.
Well, Maddie Scott, an excellent job. Gets her 7th RBI of the season. Playing some small ball, and that's a good pitch thrown by Mackenzie Thompson. She needs a big at-bat here. She needs to get a couple outs when this lineup's turned over to Jordan Lambert.
Well, Alicia Marching looked like she was going to tee off on that and then let it go, and it went over the middle.
And Marching swings through that one, and that's a big strikeout. It's the first out. Runners on second and third still, but brings up Jackie Beal. Here's a strange one for you. Jackie Beal, 0-7-7. batting average with a .405 on base percentage.
Base on balls. Is that how she's getting on?
Looks like it.
Well, this is interesting because it's not a natural thing. I saw her get a nice little safe hit, short left field on Wednesday night. Outfield miles too deep, like about 30 paces too deep.
Well, the outfield is playing in.
Yeah, but the outfielder at right field, she's not going to pull the ball round there that far, I'm telling you.
Well, if she can just get on base, it creates a whole bunch of problems for this Port Adelaide side. 1-0 game here, bottom of the second. She's going to try to slap this one over, and she just stays alive. It's an 0-2 count.
And especially when you're aiming to push the ball over the infield on the left side of the diamond, she is not going to pull the ball left-handed that deep. I'd be standing on the dirt here if I was right field, but that's just me.
And a swing and a miss. That's big back-to-back strikeouts from Mackenzie Thompson.
Message.
So she gets in some serious trouble and 2 huge strikeouts.
Yeah, and that's what she needed because they were batters 8 and 9 and now we're at the top of the lineup with Jordan.
Well, the Aussie national, Jordan Lambert, big January for her. She'll swing right away at this one, and that almost takes off about 3 people's heads, including her teammate Kelsey Nucky. It's foul, though. Just a loud strike.
Yeah, and I think it woke Kelsey up. I think she was just having a little bit of a drop off there, just on the base, waiting for the hit. Now look where the first base player, Caitlin Catuzzo, goes back. I'd be tempted to go squeeze here, even though there's 2 down.
Well, Jordan Lambert has wheels.
Yeah.
And she swings at this one. This is rocketed into the outfield. That's going to score 2 and go all the way to the wall. Jordan Lambert hustling around second, making a push for third. She slides in there safely. Jordan Lambert with a 2 RBI triple, and she's busted this one open. It's 3-0 Eagles. What a fantastic hit.
Certainly was.
Here's a look at the replay. She got this in her wheelhouse, and she ate this one for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
The pitch was very fat, wasn't it?
And she made sure she ate that up, gets all the way to the wall, and look at her wheels here. Here's the run into third, and she slides in there safely. Wasn't really even close. So it's 3-zip. Faith Pickard to the plate.
So already got a base hit out the center field.
And watches that for a strike. One thing, though, is Port Adelaide are the most plucky team in this competition. They're down a few runs, and they'll always find a way to get themselves back into the contest.
We've certainly talked about that before.
And Pickard fouls this one off.
Just need an out, don't they, Port? Get out of there, get themselves thinking batting.
And she just fouls this off herself. Keeps the count 0-2.
Very late call by plate umpire Wallace Yarrow then.
Well, the one thing that is not great news is they've given Maddie Scott 3 runs to work with. For someone that has a 1.2 ERA.
It's just what you want, isn't it, when you pitch? Get some runs, have your offense do something for you, and then you can go about your business.
And Pickard hits this hard. Vicky McFarland moves under this one, and she makes the retirement. But 3 runs put up in that inning. And you really have to admire the way that they really put that together. Lana Keisler had the walk, then there was the error, so they were sort of gifted a runner on first and third to start. But Maddie Scott, what an RBI she had on that beautiful bunt, the squeeze to get him home, puts the runners on second and third, 2 strikeouts, and then that big piece of power hitting from Jordan Lambert. So a nice combination of small ball, and just taking advantage of those opportunities. Like we said, they had runners on second and third. Someone's got to come up and make that hit, and that is the difference between a team battling for first place and a team battling for the finals.
It certainly is, and it's culminated in 3 runs. You know, and 3 runs is a lot now And there'll be a spring in the step of Maddie Scott.
But as we mentioned numerous times before, this Port Adelaide team just does not like to die. No. Whenever you think they're sort of on their back heels, they always find a way to put that foot forward and get themselves back in the competition, and there's no doubt they'll be looking to do that again.
Yeah, we're into the top of the third, and we're at the top of the lineup with Talia George, followed in by Vicky McFarlane, Megan Williams, and then Emily Cattuso.
Well, George got on with a walk as well as Vicky McFarland. It's a good part of the lineup to have if you're Port Adelaide. You can see at third base, Lana Kaesler playing in a little bit as well too.
Yeah, I think they're expecting a little chop shot. She usually chops the ball into the ground in that direction, I think.
Swing and a miss.
Or attempts to.
But Maddie Scott, you're right, has a bit of a pep in her step.
Well, you do when you're pitching, and you've now got 3 runs in the bank behind you early.
Good atmosphere down here. It's pretty full of Port Adelaide supporters behind us in the grandstand, but down the left field line, there's a couple grandstands made up of those yellow and blue West Torrens Eagles, some juniors, some lower divisions sitting down there in left field. It's good to see everybody get around and support their club mates.
Well, it's their club day today, West Torrens, so everybody comes out, and with a bit of luck, you and I can go over and get a free sausage sizzle or something after.
Might have to charm our way in that situation, Lee.
Well, maybe. or not.
Just a bit inside, 2-2 count. 36 minutes into this game. It is a 19-minute timed game, or 7 innings, whatever comes first. There will be no new innings after 5 minutes, so at that 85-minute mark, 5 minutes before the allotted time. Here's the pitch. Fouls this one away. That's a good job from Talia George. You can see her, she's sort of choking up on the bat a little bit.
Yeah, I think she's a good lead-off for the Port side because she's a reasonably good judge of which ones to swing at and which ones to leave.
She's also patient.
So that's why Butch keeps her there at the top of the order.
Yeah, I quite like Talia George at the top of this lineup. You can see her choke up again, too. Sort of stare down the pitcher as well. Here's the pitch. She's just going to look for that chop there. And Talia George is... She's behind 0-2, and she worked her way. She worked some magic to get on base for the second time today. She's a walk machine.
Yeah. How many for the season, you think?
Talia George, she's got, I'm not so sure how many walks she's got, but her on-base percentage now will be creeping towards 500.
Well, that's fantastic.
Well, leadoff hitter there for Vicky McFarland. She's batting .548, so this is danger zone for Vicky Mick. The United States.
They're chasing 3, the black side, black and white side, but Kelsey Nucky's playing right back here.
I believe she went and played in Germany.
And that's why she couldn't get the pick off then if there was a chance, because she came down on the pitch.
So what is it about these European leagues, like in Germany, where some of these girls would play and come from, that makes a difference?
Well, I think it's the pressure, isn't it, surely?
Have you been over there and seen some of the competition?
No, I haven't. I'd like to go over and coach in Austria.
In Austria. Can you speak any German, though, Lee?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can give you a very useful phrase. Schlumpfe essen Bananen. It means Smurfs eat bananas. If you say that, you will dazzle everyone you meet.
Well, I doubt that, Eric, but thanks for the tip.
But a second walk for Vicky McFarland. She gets on base. And for the second time today, Maddie Scott's walked Talia George and Vicky McFarland, so Megan Williams now is a runner on first, runner and second, nobody out, just when it looks like, as we've said, Port Adelaide could just sort of put their head in a hole a little bit. They always get an opportunity.
So
can they take advantage?
Well, here's their chance. I think they'd be reluctant to bunt Megan here, but she'd be looking for a better turn at bat than the first turn.
And this one is a little bit high. So Maddie Scott under some pressure here. She's got into this before. She had a big strikeout on Megan Chicken Williams before. Why do they call her Chicken?
I'm not quite sure. Probably some foul reason.
Oh, Lee. Coming through with the goods. Megan Williams stands to plate. She swings at this one. This is chopped over in the infield. Grabbed by Jordan Lambert. Runners will hold on base.
Cold infield fly.
So Emily Cattuso will come. She reached on a fielder's choice last time, but it was that nice little heads-up play, that 6-5 force out followed by that line shot defensively that they did. This is they just don't make many mistakes. You need to really earn your runs against this West Torrens side.
Yes, you certainly do.
And what confidence if you're a young pitcher like Maddie Scott, just her second full season pitching. This really is her first season as the ace, where they said, we're giving you the ball every single game. We will win or lose on your shoulders. And what confidence it would be just to have that team play so well behind you.
It's a big plus, isn't it? You know, have a really good team. You look at the people that play on the Aussie Spirit side or the Denso Bright Pegasus team, the support they have, you know, gun players around you, makes life easier at the top of the pitching rubber, that is.
She swings at this one, foul tip right in the glove, but she's out. Oh, just a strike, sorry. Getting my counts mixed up. It's a 1-2 count. Emily Catuzzo, Port Adelaide have had this opportunity before, and they went without taking advantage of any of the opportunities. She fouls this away to keep it alive. Now, psychologically, if you are one of those infielders and you have a younger pitcher who's maybe a bit more inexperienced, do you buckle down and just keep your focus that much, knowing that you want to support your teammate who's having that good run?
You certainly do, and that's what you want. You want the ball coming to your direction every pitch.
Just gets away from Maddie, and you can. Maddie gets animated sometimes when she's pitching. She likes to laugh, she likes to smile, and there a little head tilt and the sign of frustration. Just slipped away. 3-zip, West Torrens, Port Adelaide. Port Adelaide really do need to string together some hits here, get themselves back in the ball game, and Maddie Scott comes up with another clutch strikeout. She's done that a couple times today. That's her third strikeout of the day. And once again, runners on first and second, nobody's out, to runners on first and second, and 2 people are out. And Mackenzie Thompson comes to bat again.
You just can't, in that situation, you just can't go down looking. You go down swinging, nobody worry about it. Go down looking, questions will be asked.
Well, they really are a suffocating team here. Let's see if they can squander this chance. It looks like a flame was burning, but they're ready to snuff it out, and that is a great pitch from Maddie Scott. Really threw Mackenzie Thompson off balance. It's a 1-1 count.
Well, the previous turn at bat, her only turn at bat so far, Macca, was that line drive to Emma Burridge, and that was moving, so she'd like to see one hit with that pace and in a gap somewhere here.
She swings at this one. It's a line shot up the middle. That's going to score 1 run. Will it score 2? Runner's going to be held up at third, but Mackenzie Thompson with a huge RBI single puts Port Adelaide right on the scoreboard.
Just what she wanted. Consistent batting, wasn't it? The line drive to Emma, first innings, and then that shot there where the field could do nothing about it. Lisa marching at centre field, skirts around, gets the ball in with a good throw. 1 run scores.
I'll tell you what, well played though by marching out in center field to really hold that runner, because you can see how fast Vicky McFarland is coming around. Yep. It was a good cutoff, because that could have been 2.
What do they do here when the 1-3 split with 2 down?
And Ella Forrester to the plate. She had a good contact last time. She flew out to right field. She'll be looking for that again, just maybe a bit to the left, bit to the right.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think they'll send Mackenzie here.
I believe she is 14 years old. Pretty incredible playing at this level.
What were you doing when you were 14? Ice skating, I'll bet.
I wish I could say that, Lee. Probably up to no good.
Oh.
This drops away, and that's going to score a run. It's very rare that West Torrens give you something, and that pass ball will score Vicky McFarland, and it is a 1-run ball game.
So whatever Ella Forrester does now, it'll be a bonus, because 2 runs have scored here.
And another runner has moved to scoring position.
And you mentioned it, here's their opportunity. Don't go down looking, see something happen.
And this is hit hard, and this is going to drop in for a base hit. Ella Forrester keeps runners on the corner and invites Mackenzie Thompson to take a spot at third. This Port Adelaide team, Lee, has been so fun to watch. Everything about them is so consistent. They start slow to the season, they scrap their way back within earshot of finals, and in this game they allow 3 runs in 1 inning, and they just find a way to scrap claw, fight, and bite their way back in here. It's 3-2, and Georgia Murphy, a base hit, could take the lead.
Yes, and they work on the policy of it's not over until
Someone
rather
sings.
large lady sings.
And now Maddie Scott with 2 balls thrown. Just got to settle down a little bit here. She has a base hit already, Georgia Murphy.
Gee, this is a good fight back here, isn't it?
A great fight back. Great game
fantastic.
so far. We're at the halfway point. And it's a 3-0 count. Lee, what do you do here? What would Butch Sims be telling Georgia Murphy in this little meeting over on left as the pitcher is getting a...
Well, he's probably saying let 2 pitches go unless he's going to bring somebody in. It's 3-0, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Well, I'd be taking 2 pitches.
So you're gonna make the youngster try to throw you a strike.
Oh, that's right, because what she wants you to do is start swinging at everything. And that's what you don't give her.
And there's a
That's
strike.
fine. Well, she can
And there's
come back
one.
She can come back with another one. Then she has to throw another.
Just to throw 3 strikes to get her out. Back against a wall. There's pitch number 2.
Now there'll be
Now,
swing.
game on. A full count.
But she doesn't need to get sucked in there by swinging at a high pitch.
Runners on the corners. Murphy
it. Good
just
batting.
keeps this alive. Now the battle really begins. West Torrens put up 3 in the bottom of the second. Port Adelaide have responded with 2 in this inning. Can they make it more? Ella Forrester kept the inning alive with a great base hit to left. Georgia Murphy stands in. And a big strikeout from Maddie Scott. Georgia Murphy can't believe it. Maddie Scott will celebrate as she walks off the mound, keeps it a 1-score game. But what a fight back from Port Adelaide is going to really set something up special for the rest of this game. Butch Sims is fired up. Game on.
I think a bit unlucky then. I was saying about Georgia keeping out of the high pitch if it came, I thought it was. But, hey, I'm not in good, best position, so fair enough.
Well, I don't know if we'll see the replay of that or not, but, yeah, it was a close play. It's one of those ones that might be just that 50-50 style. What a game. Well, Mackenzie Thompson will have to settle down after she allowed a 3 spot in that last inning. She's got that tough part of the lineup with Burridge, Allen, and Kaesler, though. And hey, if you don't get through that, then you get the pleasure of facing Kelsey Nucky.
Yes. I think she's the best first base player in this competition.
Yeah, we're getting around that time where you've got to start thinking about who you would name to your
team of the
year around the diamond, and it's hard to look past Kelsey Nucky at first base, is it?
I think so. She was in the team of the year last year, and I see no reason. Her form hasn't deteriorated. She's played a couple of times at shortstop.
Jordan Lambert, you think, would be there at short?
Well, yep.
Lana Kaesler would be in the conversation at third. Sarah Tonkin would be making a great case at third as well from Sturt. There's been some impressive play, though, at third. Danny Perez at times has been really impressive there.
Oh, both her and Pippa Atkins have
my
really
goodness.
shone, haven't they, this year?
Pippa
for
might
the
rookie of
Hills?
the year, maybe?
Well,
Haley Benaithman, maybe?
it's a toss-up between those two, I think.
There's some good players in this competition. Emma Burridge, maybe a nominee at second base.
Yeah, we're still 17 games out, so things can change, I guess.
But Emma Burridge has been great to see back in the lineup. She's third in the team in batting with that .372 average, .558 on base percentage, and today she's grounded out 4-3, and that one she swung at one that was just a little bit high. There's a pitch, 1-2 count.
Had a long, hard look back at the umpire to see what he called. He called what she thought he'd call. But she's a quality player, Emma.
And Emma puts this out towards outfield, but look how quick Vicky McFarland so calmly, so casually moves over and collects that for the first out of the inning.
Object lesson for younger players out there, Vicky. Run hard to the ball, relax. take the catch.
Carly Allen to the plate. Went out. She just got sort of handcuffed a little bit in her last at-bat. She flew out over towards the third baseman, Maddie Matchke.
Okay, I'm going big shot along the ground out to centre field.
1-0 count. What a beautiful day here at West Beach. Probably around that 26, 27 degree mark. Beautiful South Australia. No better place to have a game right by the beach. That nice cool sea breeze. There's a barbecue going on next door. It's the club day for West Torrens. We're going to try to sneak some free food. What a day it's been, Lee.
I don't know about the sneak, Eric. We'll just go up and ask, so politely.
2-0 count.
I know if we went to Walkervilles, they wouldn't give us anything. Knowing Mr. Roberts, he'd be policing that.
Well, I've got an Eagles hat. Did you know that? Kelsey Nucky gave me an honorary Eagles cap.
I've heard you've got a hat from every club just in case.
Just in case. Well, bandwagon, right? If there's a wagon to be on. I want to be there.
The music.
3-1 count. She's going to get a pitch to hit here. Here it is. And Allen swings at that one. Chop foul. And you can see her just think, oh, so close.
It's still going up the center field.
Carly Allen, full count. 51 minutes into this. Port Adelaide really need that inning to calm things down and try to put it back into place. You saw that a couple weeks ago in a game where they were down 5-0. They got it back to 5-3 in the next inning. They allowed another 8. Then they made it 8-6, and that bases loaded with a chance at one time.
Yeah, that was the exciting finish of that game, wasn't it?
They've been in these games against the best of them. They are not an easy team to play at all. And this one goes down low. Carly Allen just sort of stays with it, and she gets herself on base.
And that's what happens when you get noted strong hitters of the ball. You pitch them very carefully, and eventually they may even get a base on balls.
Lana Kaesler walked and scored earlier. Well, certainly need to contain some runs. There's no question about that. Kaesler, Nucky, Scott are the next 3 in order, 1 out. Double play is of course an option.
I'll be going bunt here.
And Carly Allen has been courtesy run over at first.
Looks like Mackenzie Ween.
Mackenzie Ween in the game, another youngster. And this one just trickles away. Mackenzie Ween not gonna go for it. See if they were gonna test Georgia Murphy's arm catching today for Port Adelaide.
Didn't go too far away, did it, from her catching position? I think that was the unfortunate thing for the Eagles.
These next 3 batters really did generate the offense for West Torrens last inning. Watches that high, 2-0 count. Again, she goes through phases sometimes, Mackenzie Thompson, where she just can't quite find that strike zone. And then other times she just goes boom, 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 bang, 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 poo, 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 off she goes.
Well, I think if she does find it, she's going to go bunt here, Lana.
Lana Kaesler, we'll see. She rips at this one, and that is going over across to the other fields. 2-1 count.
I think leading 3-2, I would be inclined to go short.
Bunt's still an option.
I'm not quite sure what Mackenzie Ween's speed is on bases.
And she leans in this one and just watches that go outside. She looked like she was committed to it and just had to hold off.
Another classic case of a pitcher knowing the strength of the batter and pitching carefully. Will she get back-to-back walks, Lana?
3-run count, and
Yes,
this one
will.
trickles away. It's a walk anyway, so runner will go to first and second. Lana Kaesler showing great patience. So runners on first and second for Kelsey Nucky.
Well, she'll be going for the long pull to left field here, I think. Kelsey, if she can.
And she watches this one again. She's a patient batter.
You see what I mean about the runner at second getting off a fairway? Now, McFarlane gets down to the shortstop.
And that's Ween.
Mackenzie Ween goes 3 paces. or 2.5 paces. Second base, Forrester is wide, so is Chicken.
That's a good pitch. Bit of an off-speed pitch. Probably one that Kelsey Nucky, if she knew that was coming again, would have liked to have that in her wheelhouse.
Yeah, I think that she'll have one that she likes the look of, and she'll think this has got my name on it, KK, and here it goes.
And this is hit hard into the outfield. That is going to load up the bases. Kelsey Nucky comes up with a single, and the bases are racked.
To left field, I believe.
Hits that hard. And now Maddie Scott, who has the RBI to score the first run of the game on just a nifty little squeeze. Is it in the cards again?
No. I'm thinking not at the moment.
We'll see if Maddie Scott can help her own case on the mound. And this one trickles away. That should score a run. Ween walks in, touches the plate. Runner goes to second, runner goes to third, and the score is now 4-2. Well, that happened earlier to West Torrens where one of the pitches just got away. And now is the squeeze in play. She swings at this one, and this just bobbled off Matchkey. Throw it to first. They're going to make the out, and that one slips away. Throw across the diamond, and off of an error, 1 run's going to score, 2 runs going to score. Just when Port Adelaide get right back in it, West Torrens have put up 3. Well, Lee, unfortunately, this probably wasn't a ball that really needed to be thrown.
No, it wasn't.
It gets away, and it scores 2, and that hurts as this is hit over to right field. Will it drop in? Ella Forster right in the breadbasket.
Nice catch.
A nice catch. It retires the side, but another 3 on the board, and Port Adelaide, just when they got back in it, are now further back from where they started the last.
Yes, and it's all about playing the percentages, and that was not a percentage play.
Well, it's too bad because if you don't make that play, they scored all 3 runs off those errors right there. You had the one pass ball that scored the run, and then you had the throwing error and catching error. I don't know how it's going to be scored. It wasn't particularly nice on either side. Scores a couple, and now it's 6-2. So Port Adelaide, we'll see if they can scratch back again. They got their noses back into it before. No doubt Butch Sims will try to fire up the girls for a string of hits. But I'm sure he's not too happy about that last.
Or a string of rope. He's still smiling though, the coach. That's a good sign, isn't it?
Hey, always. Caitlin Catuzzo, Maddie Matchkey, and Talia George due up in this inning. And Butch Sims standing right in front of us, and I think the expression on his face really sort of said it all right there.
Well, on the back of his shirt it says, no sorries, no excuses, get it done. Well, that's what Caitlin did, threw it across the third.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
She
it's
didn't get it
costly.
done. But you can hear Vicki McFarland saying, come on, girls, pick yourself up here. They're a battling team. There's still a lot of time left. We're still got half an hour to play. A couple big innings here. Remember, this team, it was 5-0 going into the bottom of the last one of the last times these guys played, and Port Adelaide had 5. 5 would win it in this game.
Yeah, and what's the betting Caitlin Catuzzo now getting her turn at bat when the last batter, Georgia Murphy, went down looking? She's probably going to get a hit here. That's how it works.
Just those opportunities lost. Runners up back to the first inning. Runner on first and second. Nobody out.
It's the softball gods talking.
But no
maybe
team
not.
like West Torrens this season have made you pay like this. This is hit hard, and there you go. It's a leadoff single, just what the doctor ordered for Caitlin Catuzzo. Well hit.
I tell you what, I could win money on this game, I tell you, because that always happens. You know, you think, oh no. And she's come back after the throw and come back with it. Good luck to the girl.
No sorries, no excuses.
No,
Just get it done.
Yeah.
Maddie Matchkey, she struck out last time. And this is just gets away, and now a runner in scoring position. Again. You think of all these opportunities, and they just are going to keep on coming. They have to score them, though. Maddie Matchke, she can get on base. Oh, boy.
Then we're at the top.
Then we're at the top with a lot of danger, and two batters due up that are 0 for 0, and this is bunted down the line. Throw to first. Nucky steps on the bag, but a good job bringing the runner over to third. Nucky's not going to mess that one up, though.
No, it was a very good bunt, well executed, allowed the runner to get through. Well, Caitlin.
So runner on third for Talia George. We'll see if she has that short and sweet swing. All she needs to do is get this to the outfield and score the run. Every run counts. And again, you can try to force, again, another pass ball. They've been a couple this game. One's advanced the runner, the other one's allowed a runner to score. Here's the pitch. Strike. 1-1 count. 0 for 0 on the day, but with 2 walks. I think having at bat.
Yeah, I think Talia was trying to get the ball on the deck here.
Yep. But Maddie Scott, every time she's got herself in trouble, she's found her way out of it. She got 4 strikeouts on the day, and we're here in the 4th inning. She pitched a good game. Just high, though, and Talia George doesn't give you anything, though.
Great turn at bat again, isn't it?
Oh,
just, you know, means she switched on.
And that's a foul tip strikeout.
And now she's switched off.
So Maddie Scott, number 5 of the day. 2 outs, Vicky McFarland desperately needs a hit here.
Intentional walk.
Yeah, they're not even going to entertain her. But again, it is risky because if Megan Williams gets a base hit here, Vicky McFarland can probably score from first. She's likely going to get a free bag here. And Megan Williams swings at this one. Is it going to find the gap? It drops. 1 run scores, and McFarland steps over to third, and Megan Williams steps into second with a double. Do the chicken dance. Megan Williams has scored a run. It's 6-3. And now, because he intentionally walked McFarland, you got runners on second and third with Emily Catuzzo to the plate. 6-3, Catuzzo can make this just so interesting once again.
She certainly can.
Batting .281, she's capable of a hit. She has 6 RBIs on the season.
Whatever happens, she needs to get on so that Mackenzie can have another crack at the bat.
They keep battling, don't they?
Well, she's batting well, Mackenzie. The line drive and the hit to center field.
We're in the 4th inning. Second, so we're not going to get through 7 today. We're in the 4th right now, and it's 62 minutes gone. They'll get another turn at bat for sure. So you get another run here, make it a 2-run game. It is 6-3 right now. It's an entertaining one. Catuzzo, though, 1-1 count. Here's the pitch, up high. And Vicky McFarland was ready to dash. Any mistake, McFarland will make you pay.
Yes, yes. You got to be alert to that. She needs to get on here, one way or the other, Emily, and let Mackenzie have a crack with bases loaded.
Woo! Inside. 3-1 count. She's going to get one to hit. Butch telling her to go get it. Make her earn it. She swings at that one. It was a good swing, but it's foul.
Power. There's some power there.
Well, it's a full count, so the runners will go. A base hit will, in all likelihood, score 2, which would just make this ridiculous, this game, wouldn't it? And you just go back to that throwing error. Oh, those little things in this silly game.
They add up, don't they?
They do.
And not a lot of times in your favour. But it's a percentage game, isn't it? You play the percentages, more than likely you're going to win the game.
Well, you just don't want to strikeout looking, do you?
That's it.
But that's a good one to look at because she's getting on base. And believe it or not, the go-ahead run is at the dish. Mackenzie Thompson, she's hit the ball well today. She had that line out which saved her run. Emma Burridge might be the difference in that game, saving the run earlier.
And I think what the Eagles need to do now is just pitch her very carefully. If they walk her, it's one run. They let her hit the way she's hitting in this game. Could be a tight game.
And especially knowing that Ella Forrester is behind. Now, Ella Forrester is having a great game, but she's still a young player, and it's a big situation. If you're playing the numbers, you'd rather go against a player like that.
That's right, and she's no Mackenzie.
No Mackenzie Thompson, a collegiate player.
Stage. Yeah.
Maybe one day. But Mackenzie Thompson, 2-0 count.
If Eagles walk her here, that won't be such a big deal, I don't think.
And it's a 3-0 count. Port Adelaide. Every time you think they're dead, you're just wrong.
Yeah.
Nothing clever to say there. Just you're wrong. Well, Port's having a word. What would we be saying here? Or is it more telling Vicky Mick something?
I'm just saying, take some pitches now. It's 3-0. Take as many as you can. Get the walk. Well, not with her, but
so
if she gets something, he's probably saying, get anything close, have a go at it.
So sort of in that wheelhouse there.
Yeah. Well, anything you think you can get that on, do so.
She watches that go right over the plate. Now, why wouldn't she have a swing at that?
Well, she probably thinks there's a couple more coming. Is it 3-1?
3-1 count.
Okay, then there's another one here, which she can have a dip at this one.
She swings at this one, chopped in the air, and it's just out of their reach.
Very good pitch.
Nucky and Allen just couldn't quite get there, sort of putting that perfect spot between them. No one could really make a serious play on it, but full count, everyone is going. Could they score them all with a base hit?
They could. She needs to go at this pitch no matter where it is.
But she's going to let it go.
Okay.
And we have ourselves a 2-run game. Mackenzie Thompson goes to first, and Ella Forrester, who's had 2 good at-bats. One she flew out to right field. The other one she's got a single. Has bases loaded for the youngster here. And that throwing error, it would have been a tie ball game right now.
Yeah, but we just can't look back, can we?
Nope, only look forward. And what we have
is
a 14-year-old with bases loaded and a chance to put Port Adelaide ahead and bring them level in a finals competition. Now, what would Dave Gooley be saying to the entire team out there?
Get on out. That's a call of his, and I think it's now.
Keep it simple.
Although when they had the draw, when Port came from 5-0 down in the last innings.
It was the same thing.
No, I don't think he said get on out.
Yeah.
Because it took him a long time to get the 3 outs.
Well, what a game this has been. You figure, though, you wonder if some silly stuff will come up with West Torrens where they'll get a chance to bat. We're only in the 4th inning, and we're approaching 70 minutes. You'd think Port Adelaide would get another opportunity, but you can never guarantee much in this game.
Yeah.
Strike.
What they don't need here is a wild pitch from Maddie, because that'll score another one.
Goes down. You don't need another walk either. 1-1 count. Ella Forrester.
Funny how two particular sides have neck tussles.
And a big swing, and trying to catch off the bag there was Megan Williams.
Well, I'm not going pick off there. I think you're on a hiding the nothing.
Yeah, that's risky. You saw what happened with Port Adelaide.
Well, the left fielder, Jackie Beale, was back too deep because the runner from second may have scored also, had it got away.
1-2 count. You're Vicky McFarland encouraging the youngster, like you can, Ella, like you can. But can Ella drive home the tying run? And she just stays alive. Good job.
She's doing well for such a young person. Admire her staying power. That's fantastic, isn't it?
Great
person that young.
14 years old, Ella Forrester.
What a future.
Here's the pitch. Down low, and oh. And again, you got to wonder, trying to throw the runner out at third, because you saw Port Adelaide do that and it scored 2 runs when there was a throwing error on it. Again, just play the percentages.
That's
just
it.
Like the walk was okay. It's okay if you get this out. Here's the pitch. And she swings at this one. She's still got to run down to first, throw over to Nucky, and she got her. So a big strikeout from Maddie Scott keeps it a 6-4 game, but Port Adelaide, again, keep their nose in this game, just right behind. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. We've only played 3.5 innings, and it's been about 70 minutes of play.
That was a very low pitch, that last one.
It was a low pitch. See some of the other games going on in the background. So West Torrens, Port Adelaide here will be looking to get West Torrens out as quick as they can and give them some time to work with, because they'll probably only get one more chance to bat. West Torrens, meanwhile, if they can string together a few hits and go for about 15 minutes, which would be an amazing accomplishment. The game would probably be over anyways if they're going that long. So Port Adelaide, get a few quick outs and get back out there and try to win it in the 5th. Tough part of the lineup, though, coming. Jackie Beal will lead it off, followed by Jordan Lambert and Faith Pickard.
Well, there's a change in their lineup. It looks like Courtney May is going to bat.
Come in, yeah, so she'll come in for Beal. So 6-4 game, West Torrens, their magic number is 2 to clinch a top 2 spot. Now how it works in this competition, if you finish top 2, you get to play in a 1-2 game, which would be Walkerville and Port Adelaide. If Hills lose today, or if Hills lose today and Port Adelaide or West Torrens win, then it guarantees that first game will be West Torrens and Walkerville. The winner will go straight to the big dance. The loser will play the winner of the 3-4 game. So you're putting yourselves in with at least a double chance game. Lots on the line. So, Courtney May steps in. Good pitch. And May swings at that one, so Mackenzie Thompson going right after her. She's ahead 0-2.
Well, it's late in the game, and see what Courtney's got here.
This one a little bit up high. So it's a 1-2 count. And May swings at this one, popped up in the air. Matchkey moves over and she makes the out. So Jordan Lambert will have nothing to work with on the bases, but Lambert, Pickard, and Burridge due up.
I'm going running bunt here.
They're going running bunt.
Yeah, I'm surprised bunt I'm going. And the surprise will be if they can throw her out. They'll be looking for some insurance here, the Eagles.
Well, she'll make her work for it for sure.
Legal pitch again.
And they've just started to call those. They weren't really called in the first half of the year, were they?
No, but I think there was 6 or 7 called in the game last week.
And Lambert with her second hit of the game, right up the guts. She's having a heck of a ball game. She's 2 for 3 on the day. She has 2 RBIs, and those 2 runs, those 2 RBIs are the difference right now.
Yes, they certainly are. And the batting keeps coming. Pickard, Burridge, Allen, Kaisler, Nucky.
So you'd think bunt. Drops down low. Lambert pushing second. Lambert into second safely.
Well, I would have thought bunt or steal, 2 options. If she can run and get safe stealing to second base on Bell White, which she has a couple of times this year, she can run on anybody.
Well, the way that these innings have gone for Port Adelaide, they put up 2 in their last one. Just that extra run just could be huge for West Torrens, couldn't it?
Certainly.
See that time starting to tick up. So Port Adelaide will likely have that one last chance to bat. Drops in for a ball.
It was a nice looking pitch though, wasn't it?
She does that. She has a nice little change up as well too, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does it. Throws it with control and doesn't get flustered, has very good body language when she pitches.
There's the strike.
I suppose if you get called a legal pitch 6 or 7 times in the game, you might start to lose your sense of humour.
Lambert over at second. Faith Pickard trying to drive home a crucial run. Takes a little bit off there, and Faith Pickard, off you go to first base. So runners on first, runners on second. And Emma Burridge, oh boy, scary bat right here and a big opportunity.
Wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't a double steal here.
You think?
That's what I'll be doing. There's only one out.
And there they go.
Oh, what a lucky guess.
And she's safe. So the double steal, runners on second, runners on third. Jordan Lambert with a couple stolen bases in this turn.
I think I need to get back to coaching somehow.
I think so. New coach of the Stars? Get back at that top
Got any
level.
money?
Got any money? I don't.
You could come
I
along.
could coach. I'll be your assistant
coach. You could come
coach.
along.
Jordan Lambert, another stolen base. Emma Burridge to the dish. Runners on second, runners on third. A chance to really put a nail in the coffin, surely. And Emma Burridge chops this foul. Gets down to the last strike there.
Entertaining game it's been, Eric, hasn't it? Plenty of action going on, plenty of people getting on base and scoring.
Drops down low. 2-2 count. Runners on second, runners on third. Bottom 4. What a slow game in terms of time. Entertaining, lots happening.
There's been lots on base, haven't there? A lot of people on base.
Now it gets interesting with the full count. And a big speed over at third.
And Carly Allen batting next.
Where she could just get that green light for sure. Here's the pitch, and she hits this hard. Ella Forster collects this. Throw over to first. Jordan Lambert scores, though. You'll take that. Job done. Runner scores. It's 7-4. Ella Forster has been pretty busy, actually, over at second. She's had a very nice game, Ella Forster. But Carly Allen now to the plate. Runner on third base. 2 outs, 7-4 game. Put this one over the fence, and that is good afternoon.
No,
good
I think
evening.
it goes up the middle.
She swings at this one. Tamachki, throw across, and it's low, but a nice catch to get the out. So they only allow the 1 run, and you'd figure that this will be the last opportunity for Port Adelaide with the time here. They're chasing 3.
I'm glad I was only human then and got it wrong. Thank goodness for that. I was worrying a bit.
Sometimes you concern us, Lee.
I sometimes concern myself. But thanks for the question.
It's the bottom of the lineup in Murphy, Catuzzo, and Matchkey. The good thing is that they can get a couple on base, and they have today. All 3 of them, or 2 of them have been on base. Sorry, Murphy's got a hit, Catuzzo's got a hit. They can get on base, they can start to generate something. They led off with Catuzzo last inning, and they ended up scoring 3, or ended up scoring 2 rather.
Well, we know the amount of fight the Port team have in them, so nothing's going to surprise us here.
And Dave Gooley bringing in a change. I'm going to guess this will be, so Courtney May will play in over in left field now.
Courtney May's going to right field.
Courtney May in right field, okay. And Faith Pickard, where does she go? Over to left, maybe.
Yeah,
yes.
That's it, yeah.
And Georgia Murphy will lead things off for Port Adelaide. So 6 minutes to go. They're not going to get a new inning after this because both teams have to bat. This will be the last opportunity.
Well, this is it.
For Port Adelaide. I don't even think West Torrens will bother coming out and playing the next little bit based on the time. If they still hold the lead, that will be the ballgame.
This could be the season here.
This could be the season.
Well, they're going to come out fighting, that's for sure.
So scrap away Port Adelaide like they've done for the whole year long. West Torrens trying to keep securing their chance at that top 2 side before that huge Hills and Sturt showdown later on this evening. Georgia Murphy leads it off. Strike. And 2 quick pitches from Maddie Scott. And she swings at that one. Over to third, and it's bobbled. A little bit of luck from Port Adelaide. And it somehow slips through Lana Kaesler, and Georgia Murphy is on base for the 2nd time today.
Well, Lana Kaesler is an excellent third base fielder, but bowls the bounce a bit.
There it goes.
She has trouble with it.
You can see it took a really strange hop.
Yeah.
Take a look at that. It looks like it almost curtailed to the left. It had some weird spin on it.
Well, like all good third base players, they can handle the real hard shots coming to them.
But the little bobblers.
The little ones that bounce too many times and takes a right-handed turn like that did.
Well, Caitlin Gattuso had a hit the last time. Runner almost caught off the bag, Georgia Murphy. She's very well safe.
And this is the advantage of Carly Allen. Throws the ball from the shoulder, doesn't have a wind-up, and she's got a good chance of picking somebody off.
Gattuso chops this foul, makes the count 2-1.
Well, she came back with that good hit after the throw across the diamond, Caitlin, so she'll be looking to get another one now, and all will be forgiven.
Well, they got the runner on. Can they move her around? And a big strike, and there she goes. And now the throw down the line was away, so it advances the runner. You can chalk that up almost to a sacrifice bunt. 7 strikeouts, though, for Maddie Scott today.
Well, they've mounted up quickly, haven't they?
Georgia Murphy over to second. They tried that throw down the line. It's a bit silly, but it is what it is. But they got a runner in scoring position, Maddie Matchkey, and then they turn it over to Talia George and Vicky McFarland. If Maddie Matchkey can get on base, does it ever become interesting? She's 0 for 2 on the day, a strikeout, and then she went out 5-3.
Well, when the game's there for the taking, you need to be attacking the last pitch you get rather than go down looking. That's percentage
happened
play.
The first time she was up to bat. Swings at this one, and Maddie Scott is ahead. 0-2.
Pitching very well this innings, Maddie. Not that she hasn't throughout the game, but she knows what she requires here.
Drops down low. Keep an eye on Georgia Murphy at second. At 82 minutes, so we are just now 2 minutes and 15 seconds away from West Torrens not having to bat at all, as this one goes high. If there are 2 quick outs here, West Torrens will spat, and then that'll be the day.
Well, she gets on this batter, and then we're at the top of the lineup. With Georgia McFarland, you never know.
She swings at this one, chops it foul. Good job staying alive. Count still 2-2. Maddie Matchkey just needs to find a way, no matter what it takes. She swings at that one. It's over towards short. Lambert throw to first, and they are down to what should be their final out. Good job from Lambert holding the runner on, and that brings up Talia George. She's been on base twice.
Yeah, it's just needed to be either side of Jordan then at shortstop. Just went straight to her. No chance of the runner going through to third.
Maddie Matchkey will then ground out and then become the courtesy runner for Georgia Murphy. Talia George, base hit, puts the tying run to bat. You never know.
Well, she's been paid once, last turn at bat.
And she swings at this
prior to that, she had 2 base on balls. So
Matchkey, we'll see what she does. 0-1 count. Here's the pitch. Swings at this one, and now they got him to the final strike. But they're a battling team. Maddie Scott, can she make it a great 8? Swing and a miss. 8 strikeouts for Maddie Scott, and West Torrens have got the magic number down to 1 to clinch a spot in the top 2. What a game, back and forth. It was a hard-working battle. And Port Adelaide, unfortunately, will fall in this one, and West Torrens, just a hard-working performance led on the back by their best player, Jordan Lambert.
Yes.
What do you think on their final thoughts of the game, Lee, before we go and try to grab a player?
Well, it was entertaining, wasn't it? There
It
was
was.
a lot of people getting on base. A lot of those scored for both teams. But West Torrens just too steady at the end. So that's going to make it difficult for the Magpies now.
Yeah, so they'll both turn their attentions to the Hills and Sturt game. If Hills win, then it's good news for Port Adelaide, and they're still very much in the battle. If Sturt win, it becomes very difficult. On behalf of Spacequake Sports and Softball SA and Channel 44, we thank everybody for joining us. Thank you very much, Lee, and thank you, James Harris, as well, for the intro. I'm going to go out there and try to grab an interview with Jordan Lambert, but thank you all for tuning in. The final score is West Torrens 7, Port Adelaide 4. I'm with Jordan Lambert, 2 for 3 on the day. You had that big 2 RBI triple earlier in there. Jordan, the Eagles are flying right now. What's the difference between this year, where you're so close to locking in the top 2 spot, and last year, where you're outside of the top 4?
I think it's just a big team effort. Like, anyone comes up to bat, I just know they're going to get a hit. So everyone's just doing their part in the team, and it's working for us, and we're just enjoying it. It's just fun.
So what is that approach right now? Because today in the lineup, not one person in the lineup has an on-base percentage less than 400.
Yeah, like I said, they're aggressive. We're standing there, we're getting good swings, and we're running out anything that's in the field. So I just feel we back each other, and it's good.
Now, for you personally here, a big game for you. You had that big triple. Nice approach at the plate there. Now, you've had a lot of involvement with the Aussie team side. Do you think this has sort of helped you progress your game even at this level too?
Definitely. Yep. It's I used to get a little bit nervous, and it's really helped those. So I just feel a little bit more confident in the batting box and seeing some pitches. So it's good.
And going forward, you've locked up a top 4 spot. You're very close. I'm sure it's going to happen in the next couple of days. Could happen tonight, a top 2 spot. How do you stay focused knowing that it's probably going to be a Walkerville-West Torrens game on that first round of the finals, and the winner's going to go to the grand final? So what do you do to prepare the last few rounds of the season?
I think we just stay the same as what we're doing. Nothing should change. Just like any game, you still go at it like it's a 0-0 game. We still go into it like we'd go into any other team. So we just need to keep doing what we're doing. Nothing changes. Well,
Jordan, fantastic job today. The Eagles are soaring back on top of the table for now. We'll see what goes in the next games. But thank you very much for joining us, and thank you all for joining us. You can catch us, our next broadcast, I believe, is on Wednesday night on Spacequake Sports. The final from Softball HQ is West Torrens 7, Port Adelaide 4.